Fortunate I get to share my take on this month's craft box. This is the beautiful little box that comes in. I know I'm trying to like fit it into the screen, but if you are familiar with our craft box, you know it's a monthly release, and every month it comes with new goodies in it. So you get different die sets, you get different cardstocks. Sometimes we include our making essentials, like this month with our permanent adhesive roller, or our embossing powders, or our Sizzix sequins and bead towers. You get samplings of those. Every month it's different, and this month's box is called the Summer Treats box. So obviously there's got to be something to do with summer in there, which is what I love about it, is that especially here in California where it is so hot right now, it is like melting outside. The Summer Treats box kind of brings a little bit of nostalgia to you, especially for me as a kid when you'd hear the ice cream man coming up and down the street. So this little set right here called Sweet Treats is in the box this month, and I'm going to go through everything that's in the box in just a second. But I think what I love about our craft box every month is that you get to try something that you might not have normally bought or wanted to try out, and then you get it and you get all these different ideas with it, because the designers and we all do different videos to show you inspiration. If you go on Sizzix.com, the craft box is $29.99, and if you go on Sizzix.co.uk, it's £25. And like I said, it comes with a variety of stuff inside of it, and I'm going to switch to an overhead camera so you can see everything that comes in this month's box, and I'm going to walk through a project make and some other projects I made just to give you a little bit more inspiration. So give me just 1 second. I'm going to click to my overhead camera. Okay, so let's talk about what you're going to see in your craft box this month. I'm going to go through the dies first. I'm pulling in some other stuff off to the side. So this first die set you can see is an interchangeable die set. It's called You're the Best, and it was designed by Jenna Rushforth. And you can see that you get all these different options. I'm actually going to work with this die set today in my make, so we'll go more in depth on this one. But I do like how versatile this one is. So for year-round, you can use this all year round, and it covers friend, brother, sister, mother, father. So really for pretty much almost anyone in your life, you can use this for card friends. I actually think this one would be really cute on gift tags, or wrapped around like a vase of flowers or a bouquet of flowers. Just a really nice everyday kind of set. This one's one of my favorites. It's called Sweet Treats, and it is you can see, sweet treats. You're gonna get ice cream, popsicles, cotton candy, donuts, cupcakes, all that goodness. What I wanted to point out about this particular die set, let me just pull out one of the dies, is that when you are making with these dies, everything you need for layering is on the same die. So it kind of takes the guesswork out of it for you, because you'll know that all these pieces go on this one die. So it's the same for the cupcakes and the ice creams. Like all of the layering elements for these are all on the same die, so you know which pieces you're working with. I always love when I don't have to guess what pieces go with what. So I have made a card using the donuts, and I'll show that, actually the donuts and a few of these other items, and I'll show those at the very end, because I actually really like that one a lot. You're also going to get a sentiment set. So this one's called Everyday Sentiments #2. You're getting 9 different stamps in this one. And I do want to point something out about one of the stamps. So you've got this Wishing You Sunshine and Happiness stamp. This was actually sized to work around our dimensional domes, so our circle domes, so that it'll go around the outside edge of it. So it's I think it goes around the 2.5 inch. I'd have to double check that, but I know it definitely goes around the bigger ones. So these are perfectly sized to fit inside of your domes, or this one around the dome, which I thought was really nice. So you get everyday, kind of like it says, everyday sentiments, a little note, enjoy the little moments, birthday wishes, good vibes only. Again, a great year-round die set that goes perfectly with any dies that you have. And there goes 2 of my items that come in this month's craft box. They just fell off my desk. The next one is actually one of the ones I need to grab real quick because it just fell. This is why these things are live. You never know what you're gonna get. Okay, I got it. So the next pieces actually go together. So you're gonna get this framelit set, and it's called Rounded Square, and it matches with the new Rounded Square shaker domes that we came out with. So what you get in this is the framelit that actually cuts out the shape for you to fit your shaker dome through, and that's what this looks like. So you're gonna cut this piece into your card front or your tag or whatever you're deciding to use, and then you fill this in from behind. And then this one comes out with a little bit of a border frame that you can put around. This does also work with the retro TV big die that Tim Holtz came out with in chapter 2, as you can see right here on the back. So it does work with that, and you can use this for kind of like every day. I actually, when I was looking at this, I was like, this would be a really cute like aquarium. You could use this to cut out and make your own little vignettes and have little animals inside each one. There's a lot of different things you can do with just this shape. It could even be like a square vase, and you could have flowers coming out of it, and this could be the water. So I actually, as much as I see this and people are like, what do you do with a rounded square? The shape itself lends itself to a lot of different possibilities. And even with the die sets we have in here with the ice creams and the cupcakes, they all fit perfectly inside of here. So you can use them with the sweet treat set. To go inside of those shaker domes, you're also going to get 2 different sequencer beads. They're different in everyone's kits. I've got these ones right here from the Primrose and Mint Julep set. So you're going to get 1 Primrose square sequins and beads and 1 Mint Julep sequins or beads. And that'll be what you can put inside your shaker domes. And then to work with your stamped sentiments, you're also going to get the clear embossing ink pad and our caramel toffee glitter and biodegradable fine glitter embossing powder. That's what I was trying to think of. It's embossing powder. So you can stamp your sentiments, give it a nice little glitter effect on the end, and you just need a heat tool to make all of that work. And then you're also going to get the permanent adhesive roller for when you're putting together all your project makes. So you need a little bit of adhesive. And as always, you're going to get 5 pieces of white cardstock to use for your card bases or scrapbook pages or whatever you decide to make with it. And you're going to get 12 pieces of cardstock. And I'm going to lay these out so you can see. You get really nice, bright, fun colors, perfect for creating those bright colored candies and cotton candies and ice creams that you are so fond of during the summer months. You're gonna get caramel toffee, which is perfect for donuts or ice cream cones, purple dust, lavender dust, agave, mint julep, arctic sky, bluebell, banana blast, sorbet, primrose, and I think this one, it's hard to tell in the light sometimes, I think this one is cherry blossom. Cherry blossom and ballet slipper in certain lights look very similar, and then you put them next to each other and they're very different. But these colors really lend themselves to some really bright and fun projects with all the dies that are in the set. So like I said, I'm going to be focusing today on the You're the Best set. So I've taken the items out of You're the Best, and I wanted to show you kind of the main elements of this so you can see why it's such a great die set. So in it, you're going to get a basic circle. And this circle is perfect for doing all these layering elements on top of, with all these different sentiments. And you're gonna cut your circle, and then you've got all of these different kind of half dome sentiments. All of them, you've got one that says you're the, and what's nice about this is the way that they cut, you can use the positive or the negative for the letters, or you can use the banner shape and then put the negative letters back in. It's really up to you. It gives you a lot of different room to make what you want to make with it. And then you get 2 versions of the word best. So you get one that's more of like a traditional style basic letter, and then you get one that's a little bit more of a cursive calligraphy style. So it gives you two different options for that. And then you also get some layering options for decorative elements. You get stars, heart, a crown, and then there's these small other decorative elements which allow you, actually I've got them over here off to the side. I cut a couple so you could see. So you have this one right here. So if you cut your circle and then you run it through with this shape, you get this dotted border around the outside edge. So you could either do that, or you could actually cut these out and then meticulously add them back on if you so desire. You could also cut out another circle and back it and have another color showing through here. So that one is an option. You've also got this particular die, which creates a solid line for a border. So you could have, pretend this is complete and not cut into already, and you could lay this down around the edge and have a border shape that way if you so desire. But I think what I like about it is the way you can customize it. So if you put the, and then you can put the best, and then you can change it out. Brother, father, mother. If you want to change the best out, you can change the best out and just use that one. And you can have best friend, best sister. So all of these are different, and as you can see, all of them have that negative and positive element, which allows you to change out your colors and make it however you want it to be. It has a lot of opportunity in it because you know, sometimes dies only come with one word. This one comes with 6 different words, I think. And it just allows you to make cards year round, which is nice. And for the, like, some of the most important people in your life. So I'm gonna move this up to the side and grab my Big Shot machine real quick. And we're just gonna cut a few elements. And then I'm gonna make a simple card, and then I've got a couple other projects that I made using this, and I want to show you how you can combine the various die sets together. So I've already cut a card base, and I've got a couple of my pieces already cut down over here off to the side. I'm going to grab some of my Sizzix scissors and cut some of these pieces down so I can get all of them run through at once. So I'm going to cut my circle out of agave, and then I've got my lavender dust, which I think would be really pretty with my half dome shapes. So I'm going to do those, and I'm going to cut the word best out of mint julep. I like to cut not too many at once because you don't want to overload your machine, which you can do if you try to push through too many dies at once. It actually makes it more difficult to cut, but these are fairly large dies, so it should go through relatively easily. Okay, I think I've got my elements. So, one thing I want to suggest when you're working with this die set, if you have the option available to you, I think that the sticky grid sheet is a great die set for this, or a great accessory for this, because you can kind of place everything and then cut it all at once. Or if you wanted to cut it separately and hold it all in place, you can also use maker's tape, which is always really nice. So if you want to use those letters, you can. I'm going to just use the negative shapes. And I might actually cut my some little dots into this one, because I think that'd be kind of fun actually. So I'm going to pull these off, and I'm going to re-die cut. Or not re-die cut, I'm going to die cut something else into here. So I'm just going to pull my letters off and pull them over to the side. You also, especially with the letters, you want to keep the pieces inside of the letters like D and O, because you're going to place those back in. So I'm pulling those off to the side. If you have adhesive sheets when you're working with small elements like this, adhesive sheets are great. Okay. Just trying to keep the ones I want to keep and move the other ones off to the side. You also don't have to put those shapes back in because it's not necessary. You could make it look a little bit more abstract if you wanted to. So what I'm gonna do is lay this piece back in to create those dots, and I'm gonna use my maker's tape to hold it in place while it's die cutting. So you can see you get this really great kind of dotted effect. And I'm just going to flip it around and run it through on the other side. Make sure that it's even. There we go. I just like when you have little dies that add those extra little elements of decoration. I think it gives your cards and your projects a little bit more of a personality, which who would have thought cards can have a personality, but I do think in crafting your personality shows through. So I like to have a little bit something extra in most of my projects. I just think that that's what's got me into crafting after all these years. So I'm just gonna kind of lay down my elements so I can see where I'm gonna glue everything. And I love how that looks. It's so cute. And I might cut out one more heart real quick because I actually want to have 2 hearts. So let me cut out one more. Okay, there we go. Now we are ready to assemble. So I've got this card base right here that I did out of the purple desk, and I'm going to put that together. I'm going to open up my permanent adhesive roller and tape those together. So this is a double-sided like glue tape. Which is, I think, perfect for when you're putting panels together. When I'm working with smaller elements, I do like to use a liquid adhesive, but when I'm doing larger panels like this, I think a double-sided glue tape like this is perfect. So I'm just gonna put these together. Looks fairly even. Okay, and then I think I kind of want this to pop up a little bit, so if you wanted to, you could add foam tape onto the back of this to pop it up. I'm actually just going to continue to use this, and I'm going to just evenly place that on there. This is where your liquid adhesive will start to come in handy, is for these smaller elements. So I'm gonna grab my express glue and I'm just going to gently add a little bit of glue into some strategic places on the back side of this. My recommendation would be to cut these out of adhesive sheets if you have them handy, because then it's like putting a sticker down. But if you don't have them handy, liquid adhesive works just fine. So I'm just going to follow that. It's going to be a little off kilter, which I actually think would be kind of fun to have it a little twisted off to the side. And then I'm going to put this one on too. And then I'll go back in and I'll fill in those little kind of fallout pieces from the letters and make the letters kind of full. I actually wasn't thinking about that. I kind of like that, how that's on a tilted angle. I didn't think to do that. was a happy accident, as I would say. So now I'm just gonna go back in and add in these small pieces. If you have a pair of tweezers handy, I'm gonna use a pair of tweezers and place these down. Make my life a little bit easier. We have our fine tip curved tweezers, and then these are our reverse action tweezers. I like using the reverse action when I need to glue things because I want to hold it, put the glue on, and then put it down. And you don't have to actually like hold them closed. It holds it closed for you. Okay, and then I'm going to put my this one I'm just going to put a little dab of glue in the space where it belongs. I think these would look so cute in scrapbooks, especially for like little kid brothers and kid sisters next to them. Okay, so I've got my little pieces in, so now you can see like the actual letters. And then I'm gonna put, I think it would actually be kind of fun with these if you cut multiple of the best and then stacked them together to create almost like a chipboard style. It would give a really nice dimension to your card on the card front. So when I do that, I usually will cut about 5 because I feel like that's a really good height. So I would cut 5 of that best, glue them all on top of each other, and then it creates its own little pop-up element. And then I've got my 2 little hearts out of sorbet. I'm going to stick off to the side. And if you have foam tape handy, I would add a little foam tape to the hearts and maybe to the back of the circle and just create different elements of dimension just to have something a little extra. So really quick and simple card. I wanted to show you a couple other cards I had made. So this first one I used the same idea. I cut that circle with the dotted border and I used the You're The. But I decided I wanted to combine the Sweet Treat set and the You're the Best set. So I took the sweet here, I cut a couple of extra letters so I could write out sweetest. So You're the Sweetest. And then I took a bunch of the different elements on there. So I've got a couple lollipops, some different cupcakes, some ice creams, and I just made them into my own little staged grouping on the circle. So you don't necessarily have to just use it for sentiments. You could actually use the circle for other die cuts as well. And then, I love this one. I made a donut box. So I took these donuts also from the Sweet Treat set. I cut them all, created my own little opening window, and then I decorated the donuts with different toppings. So these ones I used the sprinkle dies and various, and then I actually used some of the sequins that came in my sequin jars and decorated those to give it a little bit more of kind of a texture. And then I put it behind a piece of acetate and tied a bow on it to make it look like a box. You could, I was thinking about this as I was making these, if you have glossy accents, you could go over the frosting with glossy accents and create a glazed look, which then makes it look like you have glazed donuts. But really fun, cute little cards. I love that the colors are really bright and evergreen for the year. I like that the sentiments work year round. You could also stamp one of the sentiments and tie it on a tag like it was a gift box right there. Lots of different ways that you can use this. Cards, scrapbooks, tying them on as gift tags for gifts. But I hope you have enjoyed this. I'm going to switch back up to my overhead camera real quick. Okay, there you have it. That's our June craft box, Summer Treats craft box. If you're looking for it on the websites, it is available right now on Sizzix.com, Sizzix.co.uk. And if you are going to be making anything with it, we always love seeing what you make. So make sure you tag us in your social posts and use the hashtag #MyMakingStory so we can find all of your cute little makes. I'm really looking forward to seeing what everyone comes up with. The die sets in this box this month are really great. They're versatile, they're evergreen for year round, especially this one right here, the You're the Best. That one is perfect, especially with Father's Day coming up. And I love the everyday sentiments and how they can be used even with our dimensional domes. So it is a really nice set, I think, and I'm really excited to make some non-perishable ice cream because it's melting here in California, even as you look at it. But I hope you are all doing well. Happy crafting, and